Queen Elizabeth I, the last Tudor monarch, stands as a towering figure in English history. Known as the Virgin Queen, Elizabeth chose not to marry, a decision that shaped her image and political strategy. Born in 1533, Elizabeth's early life was fraught with uncertainty and danger. Declared illegitimate after her mother, Anne Boleyn, was executed, she navigated the treacherous waters of court politics with remarkable resilience. Elizabeth ascended to the throne in 1558 at the age of 25. England was deeply divided along religious lines, reeling from the tumultuous reigns of her siblings, Edward VI and Mary I. The young queen faced the daunting task of uniting a fractured nation and establishing her authority. She embraced this challenge with characteristic determination and shrewdness, embarking on a path that would define her as one of England's greatest monarchs. Her reign would become synonymous with stability, prosperity, and a renewed sense of national pride. Elizabeth Tudor's early life was anything but stable. The daughter of King Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn, Elizabeth was born into political intrigue and religious upheaval. Her existence challenged the established order, a testament to her father's break from the Roman Catholic Church. Her mother's execution cast a long shadow over her childhood. Declared illegitimate, she lived a precarious existence. Amidst uncertainty, she displayed resilience and intellect. Her education fostered a love of learning and a deep understanding of the world. The reigns of Edward VI and Mary I shaped her understanding of leadership. Upon Mary's death, Elizabeth ascended to the throne. The nation she inherited was fractured and weakened. Her tumultuous upbringing forged a strength of character essential for her reign. One of the most pressing challenges Elizabeth faced was the religious divide that plagued England. The Protestant Reformation initiated by her father had created deep fissures within society, exacerbated by the subsequent Catholic Restoration under Mary I. Elizabeth, a Protestant herself, sought to establish a religious settlement to appease both factions. Her solution was the Elizabethan religious settlement, establishing the Church of England while incorporating elements of both traditions. This aimed to create a unified church and promote national unity. However, it required careful management to navigate competing interests. Elizabeth faced threats from both Catholic powers abroad and internal factions. Her legitimacy was questioned by some, particularly those adhering to Catholic doctrine. Elizabeth skillfully employed diplomacy, alliances and decisive action to maintain power and protect England's interests. In 1588, England faced its greatest threat yet, the Spanish Armada. King Philip II of Spain, a devout Catholic, launched a massive fleet of warships with the aim of invading England, overthrowing Elizabeth and restoring Catholicism to the realm. Elizabeth rallied her troops and addressed them with inspiring speeches, famously declaring that she would fight alongside them. The English navy, smaller but faster and more maneuverable than the Spanish galleons, harassed the Armada, using innovative tactics to disrupt their formations. Favourable weather conditions, including strong winds and storms, further hampered the Spanish fleet. The English fireships, small vessels loaded with explosives, caused panic and disarray among the Spanish, forcing them to break formation. The ensuing battles resulted in heavy losses for the Armada, shattering Philip's hopes of conquering England. The defeat of the Spanish Armada was a resounding victory for England, marking a turning point in its history. Elizabeth's reign is often referred to as the Golden Age, a period of remarkable cultural flourishing. The arts, literature and theatre thrived under her patronage, witnessing an explosion of creativity and innovation. Elizabeth herself was a lover of the arts, and her court became a centre of intellectual and artistic activity. William Shakespeare, the greatest playwright in the English language, rose to prominence during Elizabeth's reign. His plays, performed at the Globe Theatre, captivated audiences and explored the complexities of human nature. Other notable literary figures of the era include Edmund Spenser, Christopher Marlowe and Ben Jonson, whose works enriched the English literary canon. Exploration and discovery also marked Elizabeth's reign. Sir Francis Drake circumnavigated the globe, expanding England's reach and influence. The establishment of trading companies, such as the East India Company, laid the foundation for England's future colonial empire. The Golden Age was a time of great optimism and national pride. Mary, Queen of Scots, presented a significant challenge to Elizabeth's reign. As a Catholic and a claimant to the English throne, Mary became a focal point for Catholic plots and rebellions aimed at overthrowing Elizabeth. The two queens, cousins with a complex and fraught relationship, were locked in a power struggle that lasted for decades. Elizabeth, wary of Mary's influence and the potential for rebellion, kept her cousin under house arrest for nearly 2 decades. Despite being confined, Mary remained a symbol of Catholic resistance and a magnet for conspiracies. She was implicated in several plots against Elizabeth, including the Babington plot, which aimed to assassinate Elizabeth and place Mary on the throne. The discovery of this plot sealed Mary's fate. After much deliberation and hesitation, Elizabeth signed Mary's death warrant in 1587. The removal of Mary eliminated a significant threat and consolidated Elizabeth's power. As Elizabeth entered the twilight of her reign, her health began to decline. The burdens of leadership, coupled with the loss of close friends and advisors, took their toll. The Queen, once vibrant and energetic, became increasingly withdrawn and melancholic. The final years of Elizabeth's reign were marked by a sense of uncertainty and anxiety. The question of succession loomed large as Elizabeth had no direct heir. The absence of a clear successor created instability and fueled speculation about who would inherit the throne. Various factions jockeyed for position, hoping to influence the outcome. The death of Robert Devereux, Earl of Essex, in 1601 deeply affected Elizabeth. Despite her declining health and the challenges facing her, Elizabeth continued to rule with determination and resolve. Her unwavering commitment to her duties as Queen demonstrated her strength of character and her dedication to the welfare of her people. Queen Elizabeth I died on March 24, 1603, at Richmond Palace, bringing an end to her remarkable 44-year reign. Her death marked the end of the Tudor dynasty and ushered in a new era for England under the Stuart monarchy. The nation plunged into mourning, grieving the loss of its beloved Queen. Elizabeth's funeral was a grand affair reflecting her status and the nation's sorrow. Her body was embalmed and lay in state for several weeks, allowing the public to pay their respects. The funeral procession was a spectacle of pomp and circumstance, with dignitaries and mourners from across the country gathering to bid farewell to their Queen. The coffin, draped in rich cloth and adorned with the royal insignia, was carried through the streets of London to Westminster Abbey. Thousands lined the streets, witnessing the final journey of their Queen. Her death marked the end of an era, but her legacy would continue to inspire and influence generations to come. Queen Elizabeth's legacy is profound and enduring. Her reign is remembered as a golden age of English history, a period of stability, prosperity, and cultural flourishing. She is celebrated as a strong and capable leader who guided England through turbulent times and established it as a major power on the world stage. Elizabeth's religious settlement brought a measure of religious peace to England after decades of turmoil. Her skillful diplomacy and strategic alliances protected England from foreign threats and maintained its independence. Her patronage of the arts fostered a period of unprecedented creativity and innovation, enriching English literature, theatre, and music. Elizabeth's reign also saw the expansion of England's global reach through exploration and trade. The establishment of trading companies and the circumnavigation of the globe by Sir Francis Drake laid the foundation for England's future colonial empire. Elizabeth's legacy extends beyond her political and cultural achievements. Queen Elizabeth I is buried in Westminster Abbey, a historic church that has served as the coronation and burial place of English monarchs for centuries. Her tomb, located in the Lady Chapel, is a magnificent monument to her reign and legacy. It is a popular destination for visitors from around the world who come to pay their respects to one of England's most celebrated monarchs. The tomb is constructed of marble and alabaster, adorned with intricate carvings and effigies. It depicts Elizabeth lying in state, dressed in her royal robes and crowned with her regal diadem. The tomb is a testament to the grandeur and power of the Tudor dynasty. Over the centuries, the tomb has been the subject of historical explorations and studies. Researchers have examined the tomb's construction, its iconography, and its historical significance. These studies have provided valuable insights into the life and times of Elizabeth and the cultural and artistic context of her era. The presence of Elizabeth's tomb within its hallowed halls further enhances its historical significance and its appeal to visitors.